without giving like a spoiler. No, I think.
I love how alien that sounds in your mouth.
Say spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
House of the Dragon Season 2 has finally arrived, and with it comes one of the most notorious moments in the history of Westeros, the awful event known by fans of the George R.R. Martin book series as Blood and Cheese. In Season 2, Episode 1, Matt Smith's Daemon hatches the plot that leads to what has been described as the Red Wedding of House of the Dragon. After Rhaenyra's son Luke was killed in the Season 1 finale in a dragon chase with Alicent's son Aemond, Daemon is seeking revenge. And so with Rhaenyra in mourning, he hires a brutal member of the City Watch, that would be Blood, and a ratcatcher, that would be Cheese, to infiltrate the Red Keep. His orders, in the TV version anyway, are to kill Aemond. But when asked by Cheese what they should do if they can't find Aemond, Daemon simply stares back at the killer, and the camera cuts to the next scene. Indeed, what follows is not the murder of Aemond, but of the child, Prince Jaehaerys, the son of Aemond's brother King Aegon. I spoke to both Team Black and Team Green about this startling and brutal development.
I think the overriding emotional sort of effect that has on him subsequently is it makes him stare into the abyss. And when a man stares into the abyss stares back. It triggers something that unnerves him psychologically. I think they're sort of like umbilically connected, Rhaenyra and him, and there's something with the absence of her screws with him.
Does anyone think that Daemon's culpability in what happened to the child makes Team Black undeserving of the Iron Throne?
No.
Not undeserving.
No.
It makes you feel a bit bad for the other side.
A bit.
But no, he still deserved it, man.
Okay.
I think, because also, I watched it only once, but as far as I'm concerned, his instructions were pretty clear as to who he wanted dead. It's the incompetence of the people he sent that resulted in what happened. So no, I don't think, other than the fact that he just wants blood for blood, you can talk about that.
And are we forgetting, you know, the first strike wasn't ours. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let's not forget that.
Yeah. Although it seemed like that what happened to Luke was an accident also.
Doesn't matter.
Whoa. Playing your cards very I don't think that's the dominant narrative at all, but you just showed your hand very clearly, and I...
Bring in Team Green. Fia, can you tell me about shooting the scene when your child is murdered? I mean, what was that like?
It was scary for me because I really wanted to do it well. That's the most obvious thing in the world, but I think I had to really try and put that aside in order to focus on the reality. I still feel really new to my process on screen in that way. Like, I'm still really like, how much of that is useful, that anxiety, how much isn't? How much do I need to go to my tent and read my poems? How much do I need to talk to the lovely guys that Mark and Sam, who were playing Blood and Cheese? Like, they were having quite a nice time, and I was like, I want to play with them. I was like a bit like in my tent reading my poems, like, come on, mate. So yeah, it was just one of those days. It's hard when you're doing something like that to think like, yeah, I've done it now. That's good. I'm done. Let's cut. Like,
you're so brilliant
for,
in it, Fia.
10 hours as well.
Amazing.
Like, that's so
over and
hard.
over and over and over again.
So, it's so moving. That genuinely, that scene is so moving.
How is she changed by it after that moment?
I think everything. I think it's a living nightmare, genuinely. I think that there's not so much in her world that makes her feel safe. And I think that her kids being part of that, or even just simply part of her routine, it's just throws absolutely everything upside down. And she needs her mum so much. Like, that motherhood thing that they have together, it just becomes really important, like what that dynamic is. Yeah, it's all about what you needing each other. Yeah.
Tom, what about Aegon? How is he affected by the death of his son?
Well, I mean, he's broken on a cellular level, and I think the first time I read the scripts, there was an option to go one of two ways. I think either play it as if it was a personal slight towards him, or something that has just viscerally happened on a sort of an atomic chemical level in his body. Felt very much like the way that the whole process unfolded on set. I tried not to think about it too much. If you get too in your head about it, you're like, oh, I'm gonna play like this. But it always ends up looking really kind of predetermined and stiff, and there's no spark to it, there's no unpredictability, there's no danger to it at all. So those days where we would come in with the big emotional scenes, I didn't really think about it at all, and just Claire Kilner gave us the space and the time to kind of just play with various options and various levels of intensity during that day. So yeah, I think it fully damaged him to a kind of an irreversible level of damage, which fuels the rest of the narrative, I think.
Does the death change how Alicent feels about what's going on with Team Green versus Team Black?
Yeah, for sure. She she feels so responsible because she was with Cole, and he should have been making sure that a castle was like Fort Knox, you know, and instead, his mind was elsewhere, and so the security was lax, and so she feels so shameful and so guilty, and she's utterly devastated, and I think she lives with that guilt, and you see how that sort of manifests in the way she then operates within the castle, and she's on damage control massively because she knows that this is just the start of what's to come.
Yeah. We'll soon see what's to come from House of the Dragon, as season 2 is now in full swing. I think it's safe to say there will be more blood, and maybe some more cheese, who knows? Let us know in the comments what you thought of this big episode, and be sure to like and subscribe to IGN wherever you watch.